Okay, hey, let me tell you a little bit about our next presenter. JoyAn is a way shower. She has been a college teacher. She has multiple degrees, and she's also been a student of Ascended Masters and Spiritual Pathways for over 20 years. Now, she can apply this wisdom and knowledge in her daily life, and she teaches from direct experience as also documented and evidenced in her books and life coaching. It is her passion and her joy to offer healing with horses on her ranch near Mount Shasta and to live her vision of new earth. Wow, listen to that. To live her vision of new earth. Imagine the joy to share the vision and experience of new earth qualities as she inspires others to experience greater joy. And some of you are doing that too. I know. Inspiring others to greater joy and happiness and love and peace in their own lives through consciousness coaching. So, creator, connection attunements, and spiritual home decorating consultants. This woman has a whole lot of facets, and she is the author of the books New Earth, Bringing It Home, and When I Was a Child, as given by the Cosmic Christ. JoyAn Tucker's website is joyrisingranch.com. Well, JoyAn, I'm excited to hear what you're bringing today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I think we'll begin with Saint Germain once said that to say the words Kuan Yin creates a geometry which creates a bridge to the divine feminine. So I'm going to ask everybody right now to participate in saying those words, Kuan Yin, Master of Compassion. We'll say it 18 times. So just go with me and we'll get started. Kuan Yin, 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 and feel the silence. Take a deep breath. Appreciate Divine Mother. Many years ago, I had this vision that I wanted to create my home to be a temple of new earth. And I put it on the back burner because it just didn't look like one or feel like one. And I didn't quite feel ready for it yet either. So I was nudged, you might say, by, of all things, bed bugs. And I had to throw out a whole lot of furniture. And it was time to change. It was time to change the whole place. It was also time to change from within, because I realized these bed bugs were an outer picturing of something in me. And it was a judgment, a lot of judgment, looping judgment that I just could not get rid of. So I worked on that as well, the inner as well as the outer. And if indeed you also want to create a home, create your home to be a temple of new earth or a sanctuary of new earth, then both the inner and the outer have to be worked on, but more the inner than the outer. You might not need to change much, but just create more beauty. So anyway, that's how that all got started. Now, one of the rays that I worked with was the green ray, and I used the green ray in all my rooms. So not the green ray, but I used the master rays in all my rooms. But the way it came about was I had a mini stroke, a little stroke, and it was a transient ischemic attack. It affected my whole right side, so it wasn't too minor, but and it still does. But anyway, 3 days or 4 days later, I had a session with Saint Germain, and I started complaining about my neighbor, and full of judgment still again about somebody else this time because it was a pattern. And he said, "Drop the story. You're here to learn compassion." So that kind of startled me, but was right. He has lots of compassion, but pity is not what he does. So I felt, with his help, I felt compassion instead of judgment. And we all have to change that judgment of whatever it is into something higher. To feel that the person we're judging is having their own problems, and to feel compassion for that. We're here to learn compassion. And until we do, we're not ready for the next step. So I just wanted to tell that little story to start out with. I use the green ray. I'm going to put screen sharing on for a moment. All right. The green ray is the healing ray. And actually, while the stroke was beginning, I felt it, and I called in the green ray of healing, and I called in Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael for help. And I think that was part of what pulled me through. So in one of my rooms, I said I used the rays in each of the rooms. So in my dining room, I used the green ray and also the gold ray, which was very important to me at the time. And still is, of course. Since we're all in the resurrection process, that gold ray is a resurrection ray. But just to give you an idea, I found two Papa San chairs that had both green and gold in it. And it was just really, really wonderful to create with these things. And because Creator creates, right? So anyway, let's put this back. We'll go back to it later. Stop share. All right. I'm kind of new to using PowerPoint, and I'm using my left hand because my right hand had an accident. So anyway, what I want to do before I go into more of the decorating, and that's sort of, I'll save that for the last, is new earth, a new earth, the qualities of love, joy, peace, compassion, harmony, balance, reverence for all life. These are all qualities of new earth. So we need to ask ourselves, if we want to move to that level, what do I still need to change? But one of the things that we think of maybe as some distant process is oneness with Creator. So I want to give you a few activations, a few exercises that you might be able to do. They're very simple to connect with Creator and literally feel that oneness. You may not, oh, my dog. Yes.
The horses got loose.
Yeah. My horses just got loose. They're running around the yard. The dog is barking. So it'll be what it'll be.
I'll see if I can get them in my hand.
You don't have to get the horses in, just make Daisy be quiet somehow.
I don't know how to do that.
Mhm. So, anyways. All right, that'll do it. So she's going to take the dog in the room with her, and hopefully that'll make her be quiet.
We can hope.
All right. So the first one I want to share with you was something that Yeshua taught. And he said that when he was in embodiment, he sometimes, got discouraged, and he would then he would let go of his ego concerns, and he would fall into God. So let's ask Yeshua right now to help us for the moment. It's just surrender. Just try to let everything go and kind of fall backwards into God. So just try a moment. It might not work for everybody just straight off, but it's something you can use perhaps in the future if it doesn't work now. So just let go and fall backwards into God. I don't know if anybody felt anything, but when I do that, I feel that falling backwards is like falling backwards through your heart, and there's an upwelling that comes into your heart that feels very divine. So, and it makes you feel more peaceful. Everything else just kind of becomes less important. So that's one method. Another one is to imagine a candle in front of you. And imagine, it's even better to have a real candle, but right now we'll just use our imagination. So imagine a candle in front of you. And we are going to call the consciousness and energy of Creator into this candle. So I call the consciousness of energy and Creator into this candle that we have in front of us. And I ask for assistance from all the light beings to help each person do this. So acknowledge and experience Creator's consciousness and energy coming into the candle. Now imagine a flame in your own heart. Just imagine it. Close your eyes and imagine it. In your heart center. So now allow the outside candle to merge with the inside candle. Allow them to just come together. Creator's consciousness and energy merging with your flame. When I did that, it was the first time I ever felt true oneness. I mean, I really felt it. I hope you do too. All right. Another practice is to look at the space. Look at in your room, in the space between two objects. Just find two objects and just see the space between. And see with the eyes of your heart. Imagine your heart has eyes and you're looking at this space with the eyes of your heart and feeling this space with the eyes of your heart. And the space seems filled with energy, with love, with Creator, with quantum space. So feel that love and feel it all around you, because the truth is that everything and all the space around you is filled with love. It's not empty. It's not inactive. It's not just some air molecules. It's filled with love. It's filled with Creator, with the quantum field. I'll give you a moment to experience that. All right. So you can try that some more on your own. And once when I was just walking up the road in front of my house, I decided, well, I'd heard, many times I had it in my head that everything is an aspect of God, everything. So I thought, well, that's an intellectual concept. So why don't I make it real? So I shifted my view, I shifted my vision and my intention. I intended to experience that, the divinity in the trees around me. And as I walked up the street, I suddenly felt the trees just they were full of light and love. And it just, I just felt so wonderful and peaceful and so connected with nature and with everything. It just by being connected to the trees and having that experience. So sometimes we just need to shift our vision, to shift our intention to seeing the oneness, to experiencing the oneness with all things, with all life. And sometimes that may be all it takes, just a change of intention, a desire to experience that oneness, and it'll happen. And so you can try that on a walk sometime, or just in front of one tree, and just shift your intention. Say, I want to see with my heart. I want to feel with my heart this oneness in reality, not just as a concept in my head. So, another thing that we need to experience to be ready for New Earth, to be on New Earth, is harmony in our relationships. And Saint Germain has said once that to do that, we need to cease arguing. Absolutely no buts, no arguing, end of story. Cease arguing. And I know we all like to be right and, have our point of view accepted, but right now is the time to drop it. Cease arguing. So you can be on the lookout for your own interactions with people, and when you start arguing or feel like you want to defend something, just let it go. Because that's what we need to do right now to create harmony. Cease arguing. Another thing that we need to change, perhaps, is our desire to control anything, to control things. Some people have more of a control issue than others. And for me, it was like dishes in the dishwasher. I wanted them a certain way. And and no one ever put them in that way. I had to really let go of my dishwasher obsession to be in harmony. That's just one silly example, but another example would be when my two healing horses were with a person. He was from India, and he'd been working with them for Honey and Happy, Doc Happy. He'd been working with them for a while, and they were they'd changed places several times, and they were standing on either side of him, and he had his arms on both their necks. And all of a sudden, and I was wondering, they suddenly walked away. Two different directions. They just split and walked in two different directions. And I was worried that, he's going to think he's not gotten, the attention he needed or the right healing, or my horse has just abandoned him. He's going to feel abandoned. And I wanted to rush in and do something and control the situation. But thankfully, I let it be and held my breath and just let him finish up his experience. It seemed when they walked away, there was a finishing point, and then he gave them some carrots, and which I gave him to give him, and was done. And I asked later, after, as he came out of the session, what happened there? What did you experience? And he said, the minute they both walked away from me, a white light came in through my head and into my whole body. I have not experienced that since I was in ceremony as a child. So if I had run in and interfered at that point, it would not have been helpful. So that's an example of letting go of control. All right. Okay. I'm going to go back to my share screen. I hope you can see this now.
Yes, it's up. Thank you.
It is good. Now, where is it? Ah! First time I've done PowerPoint or screen sharing.
It's underneath.
Underneath. It's not on
Is
my
it?
screen. I'm going to
Here.
stop share for a moment. Okay. And start again. Yeah, there we go. No, that's not it. Here it is. Okay,
There we are. It's up.
it's up. All right. So as I said, I often, in most of my rooms, especially my main rooms, I used the color rays as my basic design, using accents and things to represent the color rays and to remind me of the color rays. And in creating our own New Earth sanctuary, you can do it any way you want, but this just was one of the things I chose. So just to give you an idea, I had this, at first I used the green ray, and I told you about that. And in the green room and the dining room and the living room are kind of an open floor plan. So there was kind of a green and gold room. So one wonderful thing that happened was I was looking online for a rug, a gold rug, and then a voice said inside of me, look up Flower of Life. It hadn't even occurred to me. And a Flower of Life rug. And I did, and this beautiful rug appeared first thing. And I bought it. It was from Etsy, and represents, of course, the balance and harmony and new birth, all the things that the Flower of Life represents. So it was wonderful to have that in my house. And there's the Buddha sitting in front of the fireplace that doesn't work. And he represents the divine masculine, very steady, and is giving a blessing. Okay. And there's the gold ray room. I have a number of gold things in it. A gold brocade tapestry. These are little cranes, just ready to take off in flight. This basket used to be a laundry basket, and it became a plant holder. And it also, if you see here, I used space. I wanted to stop the angles, like in Feng Shui, you make the curves out of the angles of the room. And I used this this little screen and that to do that. And they're also both gold. So I was just getting the gold theme in, and then the lights and so forth. So it just gave me a lot of pleasure to make this, gold room. And you can do whatever you want, but this is what, made me happy. So now this fractal of creator, when I first saw this crop circle, I read about the Mandelbrot set, and the Mandelbrot set is a mathematical equation that describes fractals, and everything it seems to be a fractal of creator, a fractal of some central source. And this is the message they were trying to get across. And it was the first time I thought, okay, so creator is a central sun, perhaps, and all these suns are whirling off of it, all these new creations and new ones and new ones and new ones. Everything is a fractal of creator. I am a fractal of creator. Oh boy. And this was a big realization for me back in the 90s. So I decided to make a rug out of this. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to make, it's possible to use a photo, send a photo in to the people who made the Flower of Life rug and have them make another rug for me out of these fractals, this crop circle. And that'll be in this room right about there. And but this concept of being a fractal of creator, a child of creator, image of creator, we're all the same, and we're so much more than our bodies, of course. And we are this sun, we are this light. How wonderful to be another sun. So you can experience that bit. Okay. This is my blue room. And unfortunately, the unicorn got cropped on PowerPoint somehow, but it was a much bigger picture. Maybe I can make it go up a little. Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, not much. So unicorns were a very important part of my life because I had been shopping in Walmart of all places when I found this beautiful tapestry. It only cost $10. It's just, a throw from Walmart, but I just immediately gravitated towards it because Saint Germain had told me that a unicorn was sharing Happy's body, my horse's body, the healing horse, and she was an elder among the unicorns, and unicorns themselves live in the seventh dimension and angelic realms. And so this was all very new for me, and it just filled my heart to have this hanging here. And I found this couch at a yard sale for just $60, and this rug. This is a cross here. It doesn't show the whole rug, but it's the representative of the merging of spirit and matter. So all of these things that had meaning for me, I put in my home, and they all had spiritual meaning as well as functional meaning. And this was a picture of Mount Shasta that had been at a store in Mount Shasta, and I had a guy with me that day who I'd had coffee with, and I said, "Boy, that's a beautiful picture of Mount Shasta." And a few weeks later, it appeared in my laundry room. And this guy had bought it for me. He was a gardener. He helped me with my garden, but he didn't really need the money, so he was used it. So the violet ray and the pink ray both wound up in my bedroom. So the violet ray, you've heard quite a bit of talk about during this Wesak seminar, and there's something more I want to say about it, but first I'll show you. Here I have Mother Mary in her beautiful pink, and it doesn't show up very well in the picture, but she's really beautiful. And this is the fifth dimensional solar violet ray. And that's from Era of Peace. And as you can see, I have, let's see if I can put this up a little bit. Nah, it doesn't work. Pink, violet in my in my bedspread on my bed. And right here, you can't see it, but it's a plump, cute little unicorn that's all white with pink mane and tail. And it didn't show up on this picture because it got cropped, but that was also a unicorn, experience. I was walking through Walmart and it nearly fell off the shelf into my hands. And I hadn't wanted a unicorn. I'd never thought of having a unicorn toy like that. But all of a sudden I wanted my inner child just wanted it. And I bought it and walked out of the store so happy. We'll come back to this picture. Now, we can't, when we're creating our new earth home, forget the bathroom. And I put this angel in one of my bathrooms. It was a little humorous. It looked like she was sitting down having experience, on the pot, and it just gave me a kick to do that. But in our bathrooms, even when we're, doing our business there, we're to stay conscious. It's a time to be conscious and to revel in our bodies. So this bathroom angel just shows so much light coming in, just shows ecstasy and full presence in her body. And this also got cropped. This was a picture of Mother Mary holding a bouquet of roses. And the bouquet of roses was called by the artist, so the souls of humanity. And she was looking at them with so much love. And so I put this on my altar in one of my bathrooms. It's one of the things on my altar. It's just one little corner of it there. Because whenever I'm sitting on the toilet, I look at that picture and I think, oh man, I'm feeling it too. I'm feeling this love and compassion for the souls of humanity. And so that's a everyday reminder. That's by an artist named Avalee. And was it? Is it Avalee? Yeah. And it's available at the Stargate Experience Incorporated. She was at a Stargate workshop, had never ever painted a picture before, never painted at all, and went home and did this beautiful painting, which you can't see all of, unfortunately, but just to give you a little background. Okay. Now, the violet flame. So often, when we use the violet flame to clear things, we're in judgment. Well, this is garbage. I got to get rid of it, or got to transmute it. And Saint Germain said that there is a new frequency in the violet flame. The violet flame is the flame of already of transmutation and forgiveness. So when we're using the violet flame, we're forgiving any harm that may have come from whatever we are transmuting in ourselves and others. But in this case, it also contains tenderness. Think of that, tenderness. How does tenderness feel to you? Feel it for a moment. So, what I would like you all to participate in right now is to pretend you're looking down at the earth from some distance in space and sending the violet flame to the whole earth and everything on it with tenderness. So Get above the earth. Look with the eyes of your heart. And send the violet flame to the earth and surround the earth and fill the earth and every being on it with this violet flame of tenderness. That feels different, doesn't it, from the usual violet flame we send. So remember, when you're transmuting energy with the violet flame, add tenderness when you do it now, because that's a higher vibration. All right. So overall, the whole theme of creating a sanctuary of new earth, that's bringing it home, bringing it down to earth. This whole heady concept of new earth and high vibrations, and let's make it real. Let's bring it home. Let's live it. Let's put it in our homes and be it in our homes. And let our homes be an oasis of love and harmony and peace and joy and reverence for all life, oneness with all life, oneness with Creator. That's what I want to inspire you all to do and to be. And so there it is. I thank you all very much for listening. And I hope you just have some inspiration, and we'll give it a go, give it a try. Bring it home. Make it real. Right here, right now. Thank you.
Well, thank you, JoyAn Tucker. Enjoy. Thank you, JoyAn Tucker, for bringing your gifted way of bringing concepts to the present, shifting vision to oneness. I love that you brought in tenderness with the violet flame, which is something I have neglected. And I love your ideas for a 5D sanctuary, because soon I'll have a new home. Yay. Great.